Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Gen Z Sanctum. We are here with a brand new episode going directly into your ear holes. We are here with my co-host and listener slash, yeah, never mind. Nathan. Welcome, Nathan.
Hello.
What the frick was that? He just, God, just what?
Hello.
So a lot has happened in your life over the last week. You had a birthday.
I did. I am now 21.
He is now 21. So next week's episode, how drunk can Nathan get? I'm kidding. No.
No.
Yeah, no.
See, the only way I would even think about doing that, which I wouldn't even get drunk, I'd just drink it, it would be a virtual episode.
That's true. That's true. A virtual episode, as in Nathan joins us on Discord while he's still at his apartment.
Uh-huh.
And, yeah. That could be arranged if we wanted to get an episode where we're absolutely zooted out of our minds.
No.
Oh, okay. Well, frick me then. Anyway, the other big thing that you did was another big purchase. Well, big, relatively big purchase, called a Quest.
I went on a quest to
headset.
find a girlfriend. Yes, you are correct. No, I'm just kidding.
That's true, and he still hasn't found one to this day. Neither have I. Anyway, a Quest, as in VR headset. The Quest.
So, it was originally called the Oculus.
Yes,
But
Oculus.
then Facebook
Facebook
bought Oculus and like Oculus Meta.
Quest. Yeah.
Meta like mega. We're mega.
Yeah. Whenever Facebook buys
Mega
anything,
these nuts.
wow. Whenever Facebook buys anything, they make it all meta. They can't leave it alone and just be like, let's leave this is a good
I think
thing.
the whole thing is that when so if you like open up Facebook, sorry if my voice sounds different, I'm putting my sock back on.
He's got a voice cover thingy for his
So
microphone.
when Facebook it says something like run by Meta, like you saw that on like
Facebook
Instagram.
buy meta or yeah.
But now it says something different.
Now it says
Wait, what does it say now?
piece of crap show. I'm kidding.
Yes, because
Essential.
Facebook feels like they need to buy almost everything. Like, yeah, still, okay,
Still Instagram by
yeah, by Meta,
by meta.
Mega.
You've said that joke already once, and it gets less funny every time you tell it. But speaking of the Quest, aka Oculus, that's today's episode is VR. History, is it the future of entertainment?
No, and here's my
All
big
right, thank you for
reasoning
joining.
why.
I'm kidding. No.
I will go into a detailed story of why I say it's crap.
So you don't believe that VR is the future of entertainment?
Here's my thing. Here's why I say VR is not.
Okay.
Because VR is more for that kind of deal, like you're more of an introvert.
That's true.
Because you don't really interact with people. The only way that I really see it beneficial is I've seen VR systems, but they have a PC in it, but it's a mini PC. And they put it on a backpack, and you roam around.
That seems
Have you ever seen those before?
I've seen those, and they look like just a more expensive, complicated version of Pokemon Go. where
No,
you could
in
just
my
get run
opinion,
over.
they look like laser tag, but instead you got a PC and a VR goggles strapped to your head.
Yeah. Imagine walking around in real life, and just a guy that looks like he stepped out of the Star Wars universe walks up to you, and you're like, "The frick?
What the frick?
Can
And
you
he
even-
runs right over you
Can you
because
even
he just
see me? What the frick?"
you're like,
What is he
runs
doing?
you right over.
Yeah, that-
Oh crap!
You will never see that in downtown Indianapolis. Anything that's weird in downtown Indianapolis will get a crowd of people around you going, "What the frick is this?" So yeah, no. But VR is not totally unbeneficial. Like VR is very helpful when it comes to, gaming.
It gives you a whole. I wouldn't say it's helpful. I say it's Excuse me while I get my English back together. It's a different experience.
That's true. It's essentially it's like a theater 3D experience, but
Pretty
for
much,
video
yeah.
games, essentially. But some people on Twitch make an entire living off of VR, like VR chat, which you could now do with a VR headset and is VR chat. But yes, some people base their entire personalities off of VR chat. Also, we're 5 minutes and 30 seconds in, and I completely forgot to hit this again.
Oh my gosh, hit the stupid timer.
I
What
just
the frick are you doing?
I hit the timer just like my wife when the dinner's not ready when I get home. Never mind. Anyway, this is in the 1950s. Anyway, so...
Honey, is dinner on the stuff? No.
Anyway, no.
What's that noise? Beep, beep. So long.
Yes. But anyway, so VR, I would say relatively recent invention. I mean, as far as video games and like if that stuff goes, VR is a little bit more like good VR is recent. I would say like obviously there's like I would say that like VR as we know it probably no earlier than like the late 90s.
So VR has been around since 1968.
Interesting.
But we have technically had VR goggles for the Game Boy, I think.
Interesting.
Yeah, they called it the Game Buddy or something like that. It was by Nintendo, but nobody ever bought them.
Yeah, that makes sense because nobody cared about VR until recently.
That VR wasn't sold as something beneficial yet.
Yeah, no, it was sold as try this thing. Okay, we didn't sell any. Frick you. And then they moved on to other cool things like Donkey Kong and that kind of stuff. So,
well,
very
it
interesting.
came after all Donkey Kong and Mario and all that.
All right, time to release the next Mario Kart. Nobody bought our VR headset. Nobody cares. But yeah, no, now it's like, oh, imagine Mario Kart on like the VR headset or something. That would be kind of cool.
Well, they technically do kind of make one for a VR headset. At least I'm aware. No, it's for a TV. It's basically like you put a car down and it's got a camera on it, but it uses like AI to make it look like you're in Mario Kart, but it's your whole family room or whatever. I saw a video of somebody trying to do that, and their dog kept trying to eat the car.
Yeah, I've seen, but like that's not quite it. What we need is for you to pick Mario, and for like you to be Mario, so you can be in the car. You look down, you've got the Mario suit on, and you're in the carts, driving around on like actual maps. Like that's what we need.
Yeah.
Do we have that yet? No. Will we ever have that? Like 10 years in the future,
that's
maybe
up to
if somebody
Nintendo,
cares.
because
So I would want that if I had about $500 million to buy it with, but no. But one of the biggest, I would say, things with VR is like people like to play scary games, but like a scary game on a flat monitor. Like that, just eventually it loses its scare factor.
But then you put on a VR headset.
When you put on a 3D VR headset, frickin'
VR head suit or whatever you say.
Shut up. It gets taken to like 5 new levels of hell nah with that, with the horror movies and games and other such things. Like for instance, Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted was very famously a VR game first, normal game second.
I remember Markiplier played it on the Rift S,
S.
which is the wired version of the I have.
Yes.
And I remember it was that like one quote that I've seen used all over TikTok. It's like like leave me alone. I've been such a good boy.
Oh
Or
yeah,
something.
the one where Bonnie and people are chasing him. He's like, "No, listen, I've been such a good boy. I've been a good boy. No, please don't do this. No!" And like, yes, that. But like, VR is essentially a form of entertainment, but I think that like but I do partially agree with you that the real world is where it's at for entertainment, but VR will be an option. It will always be an option.
Apple's coming out with their VR headset, but it's supposed to be used on the regular.
The VR
I'm
Pro,
sorry,
or the Vision Pro,
me. Yeah, I would have walked into an Apple store and paid $2,000 for a headset that I'm going to use maybe. Okay, $3,000 for a headset that you're supposed to wear around the city. I'm sorry.
No.
Look at that guy. He's such a nerd.
Like, what is this? Free guy? Like, what is the world turning into free guy?
I think the benefit is that you wear it around and you don't have to pull your phone out to see notifications. They just pop up like here.
Yeah.
I'm just like, how lazy do you have to be to just, whoop, oh, look, I got a text. Oh, boy.
Oh, look at that.
And you know what's
it's
so
little
creepy?
Amount of effort to pull my phone out of my pocket and see the notifications. Mom texted him. Grandma fell down the stairs and she died. Oh. But you know, like that, imagine that pops up on
the
your
weirdest
vision.
thing that VR headset has is it has transparency mode. It doesn't actually show your eyes. It shows
it's a camera that looks at your eyes.
It shows a 3D image of your eyes and puts it on the front of the head.
What the?
Why?
That's so creepy. Just like imagine, like you walk.
You're
up
walking
to a guy,
around. You just see a pair of
honey.
eyes just
Boom,
staring.
what's up?
No. You're in a dark room. They're wearing the headset.
Yeah.
And then eyes just appear, and you're like, "Heck no, I'm out of here." What did I do?
That's horror in the real world. But yeah, like, speaking of Help Wanted,
yeah,
Help
Apple
Wanted 2.
Vision Pro.
Yeah.
Why? Like they were saying,
money.
oh, it's going to bring out a whole new environment to how we live.
No, and also we've had that for some time. Like, we had the technology that the Pro gives us. Like, the Pro is essentially trying to get a VR headset to integrate into the real world, which, like, I don't think our society is ready for yet.
Everybody would just be like, look at that nerd.
That's true. We are not ready for people walking around
like
with
that. What the frick is that?
That is straight out of my nightmares when I've taken about 3 edibles.
Yeah, like, look, you're supposed to wear the goggles and you have a whole, like, PC interaction. You're supposed to read a book. You can browse web pages with it on.
Just imagine your parents getting that and being like, "Oh, this is really cool. Oh, yeah, that's the new Apple Vision Pro. Oh, that's cool. What's browser history? Wait, delete that. Don't look at that." But yeah, like, seriously,
Yeah, and here's the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's wired.
That's true. It's not wireless even. The technology exists.
The technology
for it to be
exists
wireless.
for wireless.
But no, you have to be.
Now, will I say, are VR headsets better wired than wireless? Yes.
Obviously,
There's less lag.
That's
for
true.
a wired connection than wireless. Obvious.
That's
we know
true.
anything about
That's true.
anything. A wired connection is better. But in my opinion, if you have a wireless VR headset, it gives you a whole different experience because you're not worried about a cable hanging around your back that you constantly have to keep fixing. You're down a hallway, a monster's coming and chase. The cord's in a bad spot.
Yank, your PC
break
desktop
the
gets yeeted off your desk as the cord
you
comes
start
with it.
running because a VR headset's supposed to mess with your brain
to
make you think that you're in the reality you see. So if you're wearing a VR headset, playing a horror game, and your brain is going to think it's real and it's going to tell you to run, you're going to run, and you're going to either run over your dog, your cat, your newborn baby that happens to be laying on the floor
off the back of your thing. You're gonna rip the TV off the wall.
You're gonna break so much stuff because your brain is telling you, you're being chased. Run.
So here's the thing: like, instead of the Apple Vision Pro, this is what they should have developed, and this is a thing, but it's like over 10K, which is a multi-directional treadmill for you to stand on. So if you run, you can actually run but not actually go anywhere. Like, that's what we need next.
You realize those exist, right?
Yes, but as I said, like over 10K.
It's not a treadmill. So you have one big waist strap and you have two supports on either side. And if your brain wants you to run, you're basically standing on like a giant exercise ball that's in the ground that'll spin, but it won't spin unless you're asking it to.
Which is why I said this exists,
but it's 10K. Who on earth is going to pay to get that installed in their house?
Exactly.
Let me tell you, billionaires.
True. So that's why I'm saying,
if
like,
billionaires actually have time to go, hey, I want to goof off on VR.
That's what they should be doing. Like, none of this running for office stuff. We should be seeing Trump plays Minecraft in VR instead of him running for president. Not to get political or anything, but him, Obama, and Biden should do a real life.
Oh my gosh, I would laugh so hard.
Oh yeah,
even just the interactive, like, really ridiculous funny ones. Some of those I just die laughing.
Oh, those
the one
great.
when he buys, like, oh yeah, why is there a $70,000 charge on my card? I kind of bought something. What'd you buy? An ice cream truck. What the frick, buddy?
Those are so good. But listen, take that 10,000K technology, simplize it, drop the price to, like, I mean, the Vision Pro is $3,000. $3,000 for a multi-directional thing that I can integrate already into my $300
but
you know headset. That's a deal.
You know what's really crazy? If I know this, I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure you can browse the web with my headset.
Interesting.
So you can do the exact same
Spicy
thing.
videos are about to get a whole new level of cool.
I could be wrong. I have to go and look. I still haven't gotten used to using it. But if you can use the Oculus as a computer, as a virtual reality, like, hey, I want to browse pages, just like that, you're saving yourself almost $2,500, actually over $2,500.
That's true. But here's the flip side. Your eyes are now 2 centimeters from the screen that you're looking at instead of, a foot or so away from your computer screen. So the effects on your vision,
depending on how you react to something like that, it can differ on how long you can wear it.
If people think that blue light coming from a PC screen is bad now, imagine those same screens 2 centimeters from your retinas.
Actually, so people are saying that blue light actually damages your eyes and your brain.
There's conflicting evidence in
both. It doesn't.
Yeah.
According to doctors' research, the blue light in screens is basically just telling your brain, hey, slow down making melatonin.
Yeah.
Which is why companies have a, like, yellow filter.
Yeah.
You can either turn on or put on a scheduled time.
Yeah. Again, boomers and, like, older people are the ones that come up with this. Like, for instance, like, oh, drink your, like, the thing, probably. Like, drink your milk, you'll get, tough bones. There's no discernible measure. Like, if you drink a lot of milk, there's no discernible,
here's the thing. Yes, it is true, but not as much as if you were to just take a calcium pill.
That's true. Like, that's
milk has calcium, yes. But if you drink a whole gallon of milk or take a calcium pill, and
also for another thing, not everyone can process calcium efficiently.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Some people are completely
I had an issue,
intolerant,
especially when I was younger, that my body could not use calcium like it should be able to.
It's just that could just not work. But anyway, back to VR.
How did we get talking about calcium from?
That's the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We have a podcast topic. 5 minutes later, we're talking about a random element. So,
is calcium an element?
Yes.
Is it?
Calcium is an element.
Oh yeah, it is. For a second, I didn't realize calcium was an element.
Yeah. So VR, back to VR. Not just like blue light, but also the effect of vertigo when you wear those things. the Vision Pro, like a multi-hour gaming session with a headset is enough to make you go, whoa.
When you take it off, your brain is going to be like,
oh yeah.
whoa. Okay.
Imagine wearing the Pro all the time like it's supposed to. Like, you are gonna be fricked doing like that. People like, oh, wear this all day, and I don't think you seem to realize, no, like your brain is designed to perceive the real world. If it perceives the world that's right here, when you take that off, you're gonna be all kinds of fricked.
But also, here's the thing about VR headsets that some people aren't aware of: the displays in them are incredibly dim.
That's true.
Because you're wearing them, they're goggles.
That's
you
true.
don't need the displays to be very
That's
bright.
true. Yeah.
So the brightness level compared
true.
to looking at the PC right there is
Yeah.
identical.
Yeah.
So you have displays in front of you, but they're as bright as that display is from me standing here.
So, like, I call it the theater effect, where you're sitting in this dark room watching the screen, and then you walk out. You know that feeling where you walk out and
you
the
feel like
natural
you're blinded.
sunlight hit you, and you're like, "Frick, I can't see a thing." So imagine you're wearing your Vision Pro in your car, and you need to take them off while you're driving. You can't see. You cannot see because you've been in the Pro. Now, should you drive wearing a VR headset? Are you out of your freaking mind?
That's the question.
And I think that, again, harkening back to the episode about TikTok, that was a trend, is drive blindfolded, essentially, or drive with it. No, I'm not going to finish that sentence. I was about to say kill your... No. No. But, like, no. What? No. But, like, VR headsets, first of all, not supposed to be worn all the time. Second of all, the technology needed to wear them for them to be like transparent glasses, like Tony Stark glasses, where like where you can see the real world and other stuff at the same time.
Yeah. You realize those exist, right?
Yes, but again, $30K.
Yeah.
And there's like
no
10 of them or something in the world.
You can get glasses. So I've actually seen an ad. I forget exactly what they're called, but there are glasses that you can get. They're supposed to be VR, kind of. Here, let me see if I can bring them up.
But like,
you're supposed to be able to connect a outside source, like
interesting,
a switch or some kind of
imagine
device like that.
Imagine your neighbor Bluetooths into your device on accident, and just all they get is just the weird crap you've been looking up on the internet. But I'm just saying, like, the technology, like, yes, it exists, but the technology for it to be, reliable and available to the general public, still another, like, what, 30 years out? Maybe sooner if Elon Musk figures his freaking crap out. Like, yeah.
So this is it right here.
Okay.
They just look like normal sunglasses. But yet they have a display in them that magnifies it. It looks like you're looking at a 125-inch display right in front of you.
Interesting. That is a step in the right direction, but again, not everyone is going to have one of those things.
So here's the thing.
Yeah.
Look at the price tag of these, right? You see that?
Okay, that's better than I thought.
Yeah. $380. These do the exact same thing just about as the Apple VR goggles.
Yeah.
But yet,
buy that.
These don't make you look like a nerd.
Buy that. That makes you look like Peter Capaldi from Doctor Who, like with his Sonic sunglasses. But like, yeah, no. Again, our world has the technology, just not enough of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not gonna walk down the street and see like half of everyone wearing something like that. That's certainly not here. Like, maybe in, I don't know, Japan or somewhere.
Some people are saying,
like,
it might become the future. I'm like,
no.
Well, if it becomes the future, it's not going to be in my time. That's for sure.
No. If that is the future,
because VR still isn't even super popular.
That's true.
Yes, it has gotten popularized ever since, like, the PlayStation VR.
Yeah.
And the VR headset, I'm not sure what it was. It was before Oculus, but a lot of people used it. They connected to their PC wired. I know.
Yeah.
Dan TDM used it for a gaming simulator.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what headset that is, but I'd be
no idea. I know that Markiplier like the Oculus Rift, the Oculus Rift 2, and then this. So there were three Oculus products because there's
There's the
Oculus.
Oculus Pro.
Yeah,
The Oculus Pro kind of surprised me. They have
yeah.
the Rift, the regular Oculus, and then
Mhm.
they have the Pro, which the Pro starts at $1,000.
Yeah. What's different about the Pro?
I'm not entirely sure, but
Because that's like Apple that slaps a new another camera on the back. All right, let's hike it by $100.
I know they look really interesting. Let me see.
Because yeah.
Okay, so this is what they look like.
Okay. Okay. Interesting. I used to have a VR headset, one of those crappy ones where you take your phone and stick it in the front.
Yeah, and you try to get
That
your phone.
never worked. Like honestly, you had to find an app. Also, the VR goggles, like you had to have the right phone to work with the goggles. That was back when I had my iPhone 5, which those were not designed for. Those were designed for way newer phones that were
Way bigger phones. So
Yeah.
you try it on that, and then you see the sides of the phone. You're like, no, what?
Yeah, so that never worked. Could work with this phone though, honestly. It could work. But I don't have that headset anymore. So, yeah. It was cool while it lasted though. I used my dad's phone for it once, and it was relatively interesting. Not that, again, those were like pieces of plastic that were like $15.
Yeah,
But like,
you
yeah.
could get them for super cheap.
Oh yeah,
but then
those
you
are
kind of
super...
be disappointed when you
Yeah,
use it.
yeah. Those are like that's a VR headset for like 6-year-olds who are just getting into that kind of thing. But for us, 20-year-olds, we want like the real thing, which is why, this kind of like the Oculus Rift and that kind of stuff is so important. Now, PlayStation has a VR. The Oculus Rift has a VR. Does Xbox have anything VR related?
They might.
Okay, because I
I'm
don't know off
not
the top of my
100%
head,
sure.
yeah.
I would have to look that up.
I don't know off the top of my head because PlayStation has VR, PC has VR through Oculus, and I believe the Switch. Stop! Nathan's been freaking farting the entire episode. I've just not paid attention to it, but that one was particularly loud, and I had to say something. Stop.
No.
Oh, okay, frick me then. But yeah, no, like, and I think Nathan, the Five Nights at Freddy's Help Wanted for your Switch has a VR option that you can switch on, so we might try that. When
Okay,
we get
so
over to your
here's the
apartment.
funny thing that I'm seeing.
Yeah.
So the Pro costs almost triple what the Quest 2 does.
Okay.
But the Quest 2 can run a higher refresh rate than the Pro. The Quest 2 can run 120 hertz. The Quest Pro can only run 90.
Interesting.
Which is weird. I was just like, something isn't right.
Yeah, if the Pro is worse than the Quest 2, that's it. What is good about it? Honestly, why is it the Pro? Pro at being suck? I'm kidding. No. But yeah, after this episode is over, we're definitely gonna see what freaking.
So here's what I'm
BS we
seeing.
can
So
get
the
to.
Pro gives you
Okay.
well, an ad popped up and moved it down. So it's a premium headset, solid specs.
Mhm.
It says 12 gigs of RAM compared to 8.
Okay.
It has the Snapdragon XR2 for its
Don't know
processing
what that
chip, which
means.
is the same one the Oculus 2 has,
Interesting.
or Quest 2.
Okay.
Yeah, the Quest 2 only has 6 gigs of RAM. So you're getting considerable bump in that.
So the Pro is only better because of the RAM, with a
I
worse
feel like
refresh
there's
rate.
something better.
Yeah, because the Quest 2 is not the Pro, less RAM but faster refresh rate. I feel like the Pro, like if you're gonna make a Pro, it should be better in more than just one way. Should have multiple ways in which it's better than other products.
Yeah, people are saying the Quest 2 can run 120 hertz, but it will drain your battery very fast.
Yeah, which is another thing, like corded. You're always connected to a power source, so you don't have to worry about like being like just about to escape a horror game, and then just like boom, goes off. I'm assuming it has a notification that tells you like when you're.
It'll tell you, but also one really cool thing. So the controllers don't have battery life; they don't tell you. But if you have the headset on, you look at the controllers in your hands.
They have
the headset puts a battery life bar on the top.
That's cool.
That doesn't exist if you're staring at it, but you can see the battery bar if you have the headset on.
Now, how do you charge those things?
You don't. Okay, so the headset is charged by a Type-C cable.
Yes.
The controllers have AA batteries.
Okay.
You
I
can
feel like,
buy a dock that you can put them on, but the docks look weird.
I was going to say, like, that should probably be the next thing they work on because, like, console controllers have,
Yeah.
do that in a VR controller.
But it's also a single AA battery.
Yeah.
So the battery life on those isn't going to be as good as some other controllers with two AA's.
Here is the other thing. I don't know if this is possible, but I'm gonna look this up. But I think Five Nights at Freddy's AR has, because AR uses your environment like that you live in on your phone, and like puts the animatronics in it. So you could, I don't know if it has a VR. Let's see, FNAF AR VR. Is that even a thing?
I think we'll kind of determine on the headset you have.
The answers are kind of
like they don't answer the question.
They don't really answer the question. But that would be cool. Like you could sit there, you see your apartment, but then you see animatronics that are in the game. I feel like that would be cool.
Although the thing is, what I've seen from the cameras on the Quest 2 is that they show up black and white.
That should be the next thing they work on, is making color cameras for their next headset.
I think it's more if you're in a dark room, they're night vision cameras. So if you're in a dark room, they're night vision, so they're black and white, so you can still see your area around you, even if you're in a dark room.
Imagine playing a horror game in VR at night with the room dark in night vision.
I'm out of here.
Yeah, no. Imagine playing Outlast in that. I feel like that would be kind of cool. But also, I would pee my pants. So, anyway, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that episode. Next week's episode is the last episode of September, so that's kind of cool.
Then we get into October and Halloween.
October is going to be the spooky month. So, Nathan hosts next week. I hope you find a good topic that doesn't put us all to sleep, Nathan. Okay. Anyway, thank you for joining us, and tune in next week.